All right. Hey, welcome everybody to the Velocity Bank Network overview. In case you're here for the first time, I'm just going to let you know we're going to walk you through a community powered peer to peer decentralized crypto ecosystem, a project that we've been working on for about 5 months now. And we have it where we feel comfortable that anybody in the marketplace could take advantage of understanding and being able to utilize our network to multiply or stack digital USDT that you can then use for other projects, or you can use to live your digital lifestyle. Important disclaimer, the presentation is for informational, educational purposes only, does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. The Velocity Bank Network is a community rewards platform with coded program rules, including protocol-based routing of certain reward events to community sustainability pools. Participation is voluntary and involves digital asset activity, including USDT deposits and transfers, which carry risk. No guarantees are made regarding results, timing, or frequency of reward events. Past activity does not predict future outcomes. You are responsible for your own decisions and should consult qualified professionals before participating. It's important for me to get out there. And again, we are a community. When you make a deposit, you're making a deposit into the community. You're not giving it to a company. Okay. Now, our vision is about building a sustainable ecosystem, long-term protocol, positive environment for all. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. This isn't one of those things where, hey, I'm going to get in today and I'm going to be the next crypto millionaire. It just doesn't work that way. I don't know a project that does. But that being said, we're building something that is perpetual for anybody that comes through our ecosystem. It's participant driven. The growth that we build is around the collective, not one person. So everybody shares in the same reward structure. It just bases it on how you come in as to what share of each of those rewards you get in the first link that you come in with. It's an AI powered and it's balanced, mathematically sound, AI optimized reward distribution system. Our core architecture, you can come in as a feeder line participant, which means you only need $100 to come in, and then the community will work you over to the chain. If you want to come in directly, you come into the velocity line. There you need $1,100 to put that on deposit. And once that is there, you get in line immediately with your timestamp and you start working your way into the chain. And you'll learn more about that in a second. So everything we do is based on a 28-day cycle. It's a predictable reward distribution. Every business day at 8:59 a.m., we know exactly what's going to happen. So does the community, because I will show you exactly the three things that happen. So before I go there, I'm going to hit you on the three type of links, which I alluded to at the beginning, right? If you come in with a feeder link, means $100. That's going to give you 4 rewards every 28 days, 3 which will go to your Bankus wallet, 1 which will go to opening up a new link that you then at that point will be at connector link level. It's very important on why we did it and the way we did it. Now, if you come in as a direct link, that means that you're going to get 6 rewards. Okay. So in this case, you end up with 8. 2 of them go back to the link. So feeder, you can come in with $100. Direct link, you got to come in with that $1,100, but you don't need to recruit anybody. You don't need to bring anybody in. That's the rewards that you're going to get every 28 days on your direct link. But in both these cases, when those, what we call the links that are basically going to bring you back into the velocity line with an instant link, those are those rewards that you're getting. Those then go in, create that instant link. At that point, that's when everything you do from then on in is creating connector links because we want you to have the maximum amount of rewards. Connector link is 12 rewards every 28 days. But you keep your original direct links, you keep your original feeder links if you came in from either one of those paths. If you come in as a connector from day one, great for you. That means you did exactly what this community needs. Everybody that comes in has to bring 2 people in order for the community to build what we've built based on the technology and the AI on the back end. But that's the reason why you have different ways that you can come in, because not everybody's going to bring 2 people in. So we've built into our sustainability, how do we take care of all the people that come in that don't bring their 2 people in? But in the long run, how do we shift it from where it is today, where it's probably an 80-20 split, most people that come in don't bring 2 people in, to where eventually we have it be a 20-80, where all the people, all the links that are being added are now always added with 2. And that's why we call that the connector link. Okay, so very simple. This is that process that happens at 8:59. So every day it's predictable on what happens, right? So we have people that are in the feeder line. We have people that are waiting in line in what we call the feeder overflow. We have people that are in the velocity line. We have people that are in the overflow for the velocity overflow. What makes it predictable is that we have a maximum of 100 that sit in the feeder line, 100 that sit in the velocity line, and we have 15 pairs or 30 links that move into the chain and start producing those rewards each and every day. So in order for us not to say every day that, hey, we can't let any other people in, what did we do? We created 2 overflows. So at 8:59 a.m., which is why Monday to Friday we do that 8:59 closeout. This way here, we don't have to say to people, hey, you know what? You got to take a week off because we got too many people, right? We can keep loading links into the system, and we can continue to drive what it is that makes this thing flow. But we can be 100% predictable with the rewards that are being paid out each and every 28-day cycle. Now, how does the 2-to-1 chain work? It's very simple. Just think of it as you're the parent, right? And when you come in, you're coming in as the child. So you're going to get paired up with somebody when you come in to a parent link. You don't, like I said, you don't bring anybody in when you come in. That if you do bring 2 in, all that does is give you additional rewards. The parent link is already ahead of you. So now the two children that come in, those then tie to the parent link, and then here's what happens on that day. That's the reason why everything has to happen with pairs. What happens is the $1,000 deposits that both child have go to the parent. Now the parent has the $1,000 that they need in order to get another 24 hours or another, let's call it a cycle, a mini cycle in, right? The other $1,000 is the rewards that we just talked about. It's either going to go to your wallet, or it's going to go and give you additional links so that you can stack your links. Very cool. So very simple, a little more explanation on this. Wallet rewards go directly to you. Instant velocity line links stack or multiply the amount of rewards that you get on a 28-day cycle. Now, one thing to specify is every link has its own 28 days. So let's say you came in the middle of a 28-day cycle. It doesn't mean you're only going to get 14 days. You have your own 28-day cycle. So when you're stacking those links, you're going to have more and more days where in the beginning, you might have had 2 in 1 week. And then eventually you're going to have where every day you're going to be seeing rewards coming in and day out. That's what's pretty cool about it. Now, remember the protocol rewards. That's super, super important for those 2 things that we want, right? We want sustainability, but more important than that, we wanted predictability. So when we created the 28-day cycle, we know that we're in the 80-20 rule right now, that 80% don't have their two. So how do we give those 80% their two? We use those protocol rewards on a daily basis by driving the people that are sitting in that feeder line that came in for 100. That's why we're good with them coming in for 100, because we're going to take care of the other 1,000 for them. Now, let's talk a little more detail on how this instant velocity line link works, right? So when you're coming in, you have absolutely no pressure here. You just choose what's comfortable for you. I've got $100. I've got $1,100. Okay, great. You don't have to go and find two people to get in. You don't have to do any of that. We do all that for you within the network. By the next time that you have a link, you now have a story. You now understand how this works. And you can go out and find two people. But coming in, you don't need to worry about it. So now, as soon as those instant velocity line links show up in your in the velocity line overflow, you have two decisions to make at that point. Did I pre-plan and did I find my two that I want to bring in, right? You bring them in as velocity line. They have to be at the direct velocity line. They have to be the $1,100. If you can't find two people that you can throw in there, you can then upgrade two people or two links from the feeder, and you just pay it forward, right? What does that mean? Remember, you're going to get, right, when you're in each of your links, you're going to now get 12, right? 9 that go to your wallet. So if you took two of those from your original funds that you got and you just upgraded somebody with those two, that first 28, you're going to have 7 that you're going to put into your wallet. So would that be worth it? So we've built this so that you as the link holder, that you can pounce on it the day that that link opens up, or you can let it sit there until you find the actual people that want to link within our system. Absolutely no pressure. That is a key component that everybody needs to understand, that those you never lose. They just sit in the line waiting for you to add the two to it. Big benefit for you is, think of it this way. If you came in as a feeder, right, and you want to do another feeder, right, what would that mean? That would mean you would just be getting 4 rewards. So by us putting it into the code that says, hey, I got to wait until I get my 2, now those rewards are going to multiply and stack for you, not because you went out and put pressure on yourself, because now you understand how that works and you don't get stuck in that mode of only having those 4 rewards. Now, how did we make it sustainable? How's the protocol work? Very, very simple. It's that trio of $1,000 USD deposit. That trio, think about it every day. That trio is there. 1,000 to the parent, 1,000 below, right? You got that trio of 1,000. What's happening to that 1,000 from the parent? That's going up, right? So that trio is sustainable. It just goes round and round. What does that mean? No external capital required for operations after this. So your set, your links all operate on their own. You never ever have to put another dollar in the program, right? If you want to, you can take more of your rewards, and so you can stack some more, but you never have to. The protocol is worked on that 20-day script so that we are always making sure all the people that come in that don't have their 2, those 2 are always taken care of by the protocol. And that's that self-funding mechanism that we've put in place. Now, this is what everybody gets excited about. Oh, how does the 28-day reward pattern work? Well, it's very simple. Let's take a look over here first at our feeder links, right? So you come in as a feeder, right? How does it work for me? Okay, I'm going to get the 5th. Remember, everybody has their own 28-day cycle. I'm going to get the 10th, and gold is where you see the ones that go to your wallet. And I'm going to get the 20th. And then right in the middle here, that 15th is when I'm going to have access to creating my connector link for my next link, right? So I came in as a feeder. I did really well in that first 28 days, but I don't even have to wait the 28 days because I'm going to have access to this to decide, all right, who's the two people that I'm going to bring in at that point, or who's two family members that I'm going to talk to, whatever it is. So you're going to know that that's when that's going to come available, and you're going to need to tie to it when you do that. Now, let's say you are a direct link, right? You're going to get 6, right? So in the goal, you get the 4, you get the 5, you get the 9, 10, 14, and 19. And then your 15th and your 20th are when you're going to have time to decide, okay, what did I say in that last slide, right? I said, you decide, do I want to use 2 of these to grab 2 people from the feeder, or do I see the value of how good this is? I'm going to go out and find 2 people that have $1,100. That's what I'm going to do all day long, right? So you're going to really find 2 for your 15 and another 2 for your 20. But both of those you can activate that same day, which you're going to see in a slide, another slide where I show you where that stacking and multiplication makes sense. Now, last, you come in immediately with your 2, you're a connector. And never ever worry if the 2 that you're bringing in don't have their 2, right? Because remember, we have that one thing that is very important with the logic, that during that 24-hour period, when you come in with a deposit link, which is how everybody first time comes in has to come in, you have to have your 2 ready to go. So, but once you're moving the ones that are from the pattern that we created with the instant, right? Those, it's whenever you get 2. So you could have 10 that you put in before any of these come available, and it'll automatically on that first day grab those 2. But it might take you a month to get those 2 because you don't want to pay it forward. That's okay. As soon as those 2 hit, it will automatically start running you through the velocity line. So as a connector right out of the gate, you're going to get 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 13, 14, 18, and 19. 10, 15, and 20 allows you to stack your instant links for more rewards. So everybody's goal, I believe, is that we want to have rewards every day, right? So we made it so that you can have rewards every day. How does that happen? That happens by activating your connector links once you get them, because everyone's on a different 28-day cycle. So if you're getting 5, 10, and 20, and you activate another one, and then you're getting 3, 4, but they're all on different days. So that's how you get your rewards every day, if that is what you feel like, which is what most people tell me on a regular basis. Well, all right. Now let's talk a little bit about what happens in the background. Why is it so complicated to make this work? But why does it work in the way that it does, that it creates something for us on the outside that basically we don't have to do anything. It's on auto drive once we come in, unless we want to stack our rewards. If we want to stack our rewards, then we're going to be helping people. If you don't want to stack your rewards, you can just come in as a feeder, and you can just have those links sitting there and never, ever move them any further in the line. They're just going to stay in that line. And you can wait for some kind of promotion to happen, to where we say, hey, we're going to do a promotion because we need to move more people into the feeder line because we have we always have to have 100 in there, something like that. So just food for thought, right? So this is what happens. We have the initialization and updates. Very important. This is what's happening. You're wondering what's happening at 8:59 a.m. This first part, initialization, updates. Then the system operations and flow happens with that next part. And then the last piece is the execution and the finalization. That's what makes all these rewards pop out after 9 a.m. Monday to Friday, each business day. Now, this is probably what everybody wants to understand. So how exactly does this stacking and multiplication work? So IVLL is your instant velocity line links, okay? It's easier to make it smaller, just so you have it. So let's just start first, because I know there's people on here that are feeder people right now. Okay. I'm going to walk you through how this works, right? We're all the way on the left here. Start at 3 reward cycles. Okay. I'm taking out the one that you're going to turn into your IVLL, right? So you start with 3 rewards, as I showed you on that other graphic, right? Now, what happens? You now have one additional IVLL. What's that? That's going to create 9 more rewards in an additional 28-day period, right? But that's also going to create 3 more of these, right? Which then in turn is going to create 27, right? Now, we go down here and we look at the stacking. What happened with the stacking, right? So we had 3, and we added our connector, right? So you're going to have 39 reward cycles. What is a reward cycle? $1,000, right? So if you think of the math on this, right? These don't all start on the same day, right? They start, if you're ready to go, each time that you get those rewards, they have their own 28-day cycle. So for some people, maybe it's 90 days. For some people, maybe it's 100 days. For some people, maybe it's 6 months. But 39 times 1,000, I believe, is 39,000. The last time I checked my math, I think I was right about that. So you come in as a feeder. You came in for $100. 3-4 months down the road, you've now accumulated 39 of these rewards that you're either using to do other things with it, or you're using for your daily lifestyle. Now, let's take our direct link, right? Same thing. How many they get? They get 6. What's that? What's going to happen with those 6? That's going to create 2, right? Same thing now. Where do we go? We go to 18. Now we got 6. We go to 54. Now we got 18. So what happens in that same time period? Now you're talking about 78 rewards. 3-4 months, somewhere in that range. So everybody's panicking. Oh my gosh, we got to get this thing going. Talking about 78 rewards in that time, right? So again, I think the math is 78K. Now, you came in as a connector right out of the gate. I got to go through the whole thing again, but it's because of the 3. Now you're talking about 117. Now start to extrapolate that out over forever, because none of your links ever stop. So what we started with back 5 months ago was an idea that we were going to help people get some instant funds that they could do other things with. What we ended up creating is a network that will create rewards that never stop. And the person doesn't have to learn anything. They don't have to go to our meetings. They don't have to go and do anything. All they know is, hey, instead of fiat, I'm dealing in USDT. And because I joined this network, I'm going to continue to get these rewards. And if I'm smart, I'm either paying it forward to people, or I'm adding people that I care about so that they can get the same benefit that I'm getting. And it's perpetual. And in 90, 120 days, whatever it is, when the smart contract happens, right, that means we've taken the human element out, right? The AI gets us to where we're at right now, so we can do what we can do, what we're doing, without having that smart contract right now, right? But why does everybody want to see it go to a smart contract? What are we? We're in a decentralized network, right? We're peer-to-peer, so we don't need any middleman involved ever. So we want it on the blockchain. What do we call it? We call it a chain, right? Why do we call it a chain? Because it's on the blockchain, right? So we want it on the blockchain. We don't want it to have um, any any reason for it to stop, right? So by creating it on the blockchain in a smart contract that is renounced, we never ever have to worry about it going away. And because we're not a company, we can do that because we're a community, right? So that is where the usage of that $100, if you were watching the presentation, you're thinking, oh, okay, he said 1,100, but it looks like $1,000 is what's moving. That's where that $100, that goes to take care of all the things that we have to do to make this thing work without having fees come back to the community, or monthly, all the things that won't allow us to automate it to the point where we never ever have to have anybody running it at that point. All right. So what are we doing now? How do I get started? Right here, this is where we're at. First thing you want to do, join the Discord peer-to-peer community. This is where everything happens. You want to be in there. Second thing, register on your Bankus app. Okay, get the email from who, or get the link from whoever brought you in, so that you can get your Bankus email done, or get your Bankus set up on your phone. Shouldn't take you long. There's a whole section on it in the Discord if you need help with it. Then you want to register on the velocitybank.ai. And then you want to make that deposit. It should be 100 or 1,100. Those are the two. And if you do any deviation whatsoever on what you send, there's a comment section to say the reason why. Right? There's one official form now. It's in Discord. It will also be in the when the back end of the portal is ready, it'll be back there as well. And the last piece is, hey, to keep yourself stay informed, you can come to our meetings, or you can just go in Discord and see what's going on at any given time. But that's it. That's how this works. I appreciate all you guys that helped us get to this point. But now it's, hey, let's see who can stack the most rewards each and every time that your instant links show up. When you get that instant link, you should already have, who's the two people I'm going to bring in? Who's the two people I'm going to bring in? So you're stacking those rewards, whether you're doing a pay it forward or whether you're actually bringing people in that are ready to go. And remember, if you bring someone in today, right, they just go in immediately, but you don't need them yet. You can use them when you get there. So you don't have to wait. They can come in. The only time that they have to do it in a 24-hour cycle is when you're using a deposit versus a reward. When you're using a reward, which is the instant velocity links, right? So when you're using the instant, it just looks as you as a member. Do you have two people that it needs that we can, two links that we can assign to? That's how that works. But I'm done. I'm going to shut down now. You guys can use this as a tool, and we'll continue to do it in different ways as we get used to doing this one.